It is the first week of July, and here is my video as promised on my new time schedule, my new timetable. So today I actually have a fun little toy that I want to talk to you all about. It is very unique, it turns heads, especially when brought onto the field, and it is my new crossbow. Now this is a fascinating contraption. As we know, the crossbow was most famous for being heavily powered with little to no training needed to use it. A longbow, the warbow, needed tons upon tons of hours of training, not only your mind but your body, to handle the intense pressures of pulling back over 100 pounds of tensile strength. The crossbow, when used with certain mechanized levers, such as a goat's foot or the windlass to pulley system it together, was a lot easier to use and could pack a very powerful punch. My initial thoughts on a crossbow were kind of like, wow, that's really cool. Do I really need one? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna get one anyway. I am very happy that I got myself a crossbow. I'm not even really an archer or a ranged person in my heart. I absolutely had a blast using this. This was so fun. This crossbow I bought from Nick Springman, who was absolutely wonderful to work with. He was super great and was very accommodative to my needs, my informational needs, my understanding of the crossbow. He was also very responsible with it, telling me what I needed to do, how I needed to maintenance it. The bundle itself that I got from Nick came with this crossbow, lever style. It came with a belt pouch for my bolts and 3 bolts. The other 2 are around somewhere in my closet. So this was in the bundle. Just pretend there's 2 more bolts. The 3 bolts, the leather pouch that does go on a belt, it does have belt loops on it, and the crossbow ready to go. And that was in total, I believe, $225 altogether. All in all, not exactly the run-of-the-mill purchase, and certainly not a cheap buy-in. But when I got it immediately, I opened it up and I was incredibly happy. I thought nothing of the price. Really wanted to just immediately start firing this away. So I did. I did some test firing inside of the old apartment when I received it, and it felt just as satisfying as what I wanted it to feel. And so, of course, being the wonderful little devil I am, I decided I wanted to bring it onto the field. This was so fun to use. It surprised so many people. The bolts were coming out of nowhere for them. They were watching me aim it at them, and they were stepping backwards and stuff. So I spent the greater part of the day just popping people off with my crossbow, and I was loving it. It was so fun. It was so satisfying. But an issue did arise during the end of the day, where the string began to, as I fire, move up and over the lip of the head, up and over to here. I sent my GoPro footage to Nick Springman, showing that it was, going over that edge, and he immediately told me what to do. Instead of just stringing one side to the other with the string, I would, in turn, tension it by twirling it a little bit and winding the rope, twisting it, in order to have it have a little bit more tension and sit a little bit further back, rather than so close up to here. Fix was super simple, it was super quick, and Nick actually even did a video to show me exactly what to do, how to wind that string up, and I now know that it takes approximately 14 winds for my string to get tension just enough where it doesn't actually go over that hump. That was the fix itself. I wanted to talk to you about 2 of the things that Nick showed me that I needed to do to maintenance this weapon consistently. The first one is crossbow rail lube. What you want to do is you want to apply that lube in the divot where the bolt will go. The bolt's not getting too much friction, and it will continue to perform as needed. The second would be beeswax for the string. So I found this both of these I found on Amazon. Take a piece off of and apply to the center of the string, which will come into contact with the crossbow bolt. Included in my crossbow rail lube, I also did get a small chapstick thing of bowstring wax. I used that as well, but this is, once again, the maintenancing of said crossbow. This is most likely what you will do after a long day of usage, or maybe even in the middle. You apply some wax to the middle of the string and some lube to the rail of where the bolt will sit. For my pros, I'll say that this is very fun and satisfying to use. This crossbow was a delight. The thunk, the recoil, getting hits, it was just so satisfying. I felt like I was in heaven using this thing. It was so fun, and it totally captured the attention of everyone around me. Everyone kept looking at, oh my god, is that a crossbow? I was like, yeah, it is. It's a crossbow. It's very stylized. It's super, super good for people that are doing certain types of kits. So, you know, crossbowmen, people that are doing maybe more like fantasized, like medieval gun style kits. So maybe if you want to do like a Mandalorian, medieval Mandalorian, you might have a crossbow for the disruptor rifle that he has. Another pro is that it's always at the ready. You don't have to hold that string back like a bow. If people are advancing and you have a bow, you have to kind of hold this string back. That can be pretty taxing. With the crossbow, it is always at the ready. You just point it at people and it's ready to go once you pull that or depress that lever. And my final pro is that it is very solid construction. This is really good wood. It's been, you know, lacquered. It's been filed. There is no sharp edges on this at all. I have not cut myself. I have not hurt myself. It is all very, very well constructed. One of the big cons for the crossbow is more just a crossbow thing in general. It has a very low rate of fire. It's a little bit longer with a crossbow than it is with a bow and arrow. Now, the real world trade-off in this kind of thing with crossbows is that it took relatively little training to use and fire, and in general, it was a very powerful weapon. On the foam fighting field, we don't get that same power. The power has been capped, basically adhere to many different LARP game rules. That being said, this one right here, this design from Nick, is definitely one of the better ones I have seen in the market. A lot of people swear by it, and now I do too. Another drawback is that it's pretty expensive. A lot of the time, people don't necessarily have that kind of money to start dabbling in crossbow and archery stuff. So it's not exactly something you can just dive into unless you have a fair amount of disposable income. The last two cons are kind of related. One is that this is kind of hard to fire and reload under pressure. So if someone's advancing on you, it's a little bit easier to get a bow done than it is to get this crossbow. The pullback, it has to be pretty precise, and because of that, we get into the second con, which is that if you don't seat the string properly in here, it can snap up, and if your hands are in the way, that could possibly injure you. It's not something that's ever happened to me, but it's because I was very careful when seating this. I never seated it hastily. Every single time I pulled it back, it was very deliberate that I put it and I seated and I took a second and then I was ready to put the bolt in there and go for it. This is not something that I would say you can kind of just be hasty and carefree with. You do have to be a little bit careful snapping that string, especially if there's not a bolt to put that force back on it. It can, you know, damage the actual mechanism, but it can also damage your fingers if they're in the way. Now, the last thing I want to mention is that Nick is not necessarily intending to do tons of batches of these. I don't think he's planning on doing like big droves and batches that are going to be sold kind of like what Gorg does. However, I will say this is a wonderful piece of machinery and it is very, very fun to use. It is very unique. I love it. If you have the money for it, message Nick. You might get a fresh, fancy new crossbow for you. I know that he also does wheel lock designs that are more expensive, but they look very, very pretty, and they're very, very realistic. It's super, super cool. One day, if I'm super rich, Nick, expect me to get one of those wheel lock mechanisms for my own. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this crossbow, and if you're looking to pick one up, I'm sure Nick will make himself known at some point. Your best. Fight well, everyone. I know, right? Don't you dare, Matt!
Oh, he's out! They're coming in! Oh, yeah! Boy, again! There's so much.
Right side, right side, right side! Don't, man, don't you dare! No, I missed!
good shot. Raph, come with me. Push forward. Ready? When I say shoot, shoot him. Oh, shit.
Nice.
Where's the dagger go? It was right there for a second ago. Oh. Alexis, kill me. Or no, I'll just take it down. Alright. I got it. Yo, just rush right now, just rush to him. Literally just go nuts. Go rush to him right now. Just rush. Go. Go, Ezra, go with them. Go with them.
Oh, here's the thing.
A little bit light, you got me. Go. Liam, go. Go, Liam, go. Oh. Yeah, shaft on the arrow. Yeah, helmet still protect. Oh, sorry, Ryan, sorry. Oh, darn my arm. You good? No, you're fine, you're alive. Just want to make sure the knock didn't hit you in the face. They're trying to push, let's stop them.